This is the story of a nun named Sister Lou. People said she constantly broke the rules of the convent. Because of that, no priest or nun wanted to work with her anymore. There was only one exception, Father Novak. He had raised Lou since she was a child and was the only person willing to stand by her. Time and time again, he warned her, "You need to stop acting like this, or no one will ever want to work with you." Even today, Father Novak is taking Lou to Rome for an extremely urgent exorcism. A famous and influential person has reportedly been possessed by a terrifying demon, and the Father's team has been called in to save them. As the train races toward Rome, Father Novak continues trying to reason with Lou, but she's frustrated, and for good reason. The first reason goes all the way back to her childhood. Lou's father, Roman, was also a demon investigator who assisted Father Novak in performing exorcisms. But one horrifying night, young Lou woke up to find that a demon had taken control of her own father. Before the creature could harm her, Father Novak and his team managed to rescue Lou. But they couldn't save Roman. What happened to her father after that night remains a secret. Even now, Father Novak refuses to tell her the truth, and that silence has filled Lou with years of anger. There's another thing that deeply bothers her. Why are only priests allowed to perform exorcisms? Why can't a nun do it too? Lou wants to follow in her father's footsteps and fight demons herself, but every time she brings it up, Father Novak simply tells her to be patient and trust that everything will work out. Despite her inner turmoil, the train is full of other passengers. Sitting beside Lou is a little girl named Sophia, traveling with her nanny, Sister Nancy. Sophia tries to comfort Lou by saying, "My dad always told me that even the hardest times come to an end if you stay brave." Those words strike a chord with Lou. Curious, she asks, "What does your father do?" Sophia proudly smiles and replies, "He's an engineer, and he's the one who designed this train." Lou assumes the little girl is on her way to reunite with him, and she instantly grows fond of Sophia. But they aren't the only interesting passengers on board. There's also a young couple, Vicky and David. After getting tired of Father Novak's lectures, Lou heads toward the dining car, where she crosses paths with them. She ends up helping Vicky, and the two quickly become close friends. Soon, Lou and Vicky grab a few drinks together, and for a while, everything seems perfectly normal. Father Novak is focused on his mission. Sophia is happily enjoying the trip. David is waiting for his girlfriend, and the friendship between Lou and Vicky keeps growing. None of them have the slightest idea that before this journey is over, the train will become the stage for a nightmare beyond imagination. But there was one passenger on that train named Gabriel. Before boarding, his girlfriend, someone he had only met a few weeks earlier, had handed him a mysterious box. She looked him in the eyes and said, "Open it only when you're alone on the train." Now Gabriel was finally by himself. As the train sped through the darkness, he remembered her words and slowly opened the box. Inside was a strange statue. It didn't look human at all. Gabriel stared at it, completely confused, wondering what kind of gift this was supposed to be. Just then, Sophia happened to walk past and immediately recognized it. She told Gabriel that the statue represented Asmodeus, the king of demons. According to ancient legends, Asmodeus possessed terrifying power, the ability to control multiple people at the same time. But then she laughed it off, saying it was probably just an old myth. After all, demons aren't real, right? A moment later, Nancy arrived and called Sophia away. Gabriel was still thinking about what Sophia had said when, out of nowhere, the sharp edge of the statue sliced his hand. To Gabriel, and probably to anyone watching, it seemed like nothing more than a small cut. But no one had any idea what that tiny wound was about to unleash. Meanwhile, completely unaware of what was happening, Vicky and Lou were chatting nearby. During their conversation, Lou noticed a man named Louis secretly stealing from other passengers. She confronted him and warned, "Put everything back or I'll tell everyone." Louis realized she was serious and quietly returned the stolen items. So far, everything seemed perfectly normal. But then the story cuts back to Gabriel. Something is terribly wrong with him. His body starts shaking uncontrollably. He's freezing cold, and little by little, his face begins to change. It no longer looks human. Before anyone can understand what's happening, Gabriel transforms into something horrifying, something demonic. And the moment it happens, the train itself begins to malfunction. The engines start failing. The lights flicker on and off. At first, everyone assumes it's just a minor technical issue. But then, Crows begin crashing into the train's windows, one after another, then dozens, then hundreds. Soon it feels like thousands of them are slamming into the glass. Panic spreads through the passengers. Trying to keep everyone calm, the conductor announces, "Please don't worry. We've suffered some damage to the windows, so we'll stop at the next station. It's only 5 minutes away. We'll make the necessary repairs and continue our journey." The passengers reluctantly believe him. Maybe it really is just an accident. Maybe everything is still under control. But after witnessing all of this, Sophia is absolutely terrified. Sophia looks at Nancy with fear in her eyes and asks, "Are we going to be okay?" Sitting right beside them is a man named Edwin, a selfish, bitter guy with a habit of making every situation worse. He says, "You know how animals, especially birds, can sense danger before it happens? Maybe that means something terrible is about to happen to us." His words instantly make everyone uneasy. David has had enough. Angry, he tells Edwin to stop scaring people and reassures Sophia that everything is going to be fine. But just then, Sophia notices something strange. The train doesn't stop at the next station. Instead, it keeps speeding up, faster and faster and even faster. No one can understand what's happening. Why isn't the train stopping? It was supposed to slow down, but it's only gaining speed. The passengers are completely confused. Only Lou seems to realize that whatever is happening isn't something any human could control. She rushes to Father Novak and tells him everything. Father Novak calmly replies, "I'll find out what's going on. Until then, keep the passengers calm." Lou and Vicky try their best to reassure everyone, but Edwin won't stop spreading panic. He keeps terrifying the passengers, and by now everyone is sick of listening to him. Finally, Lou decides there's only one way to get answers. She heads for the driver's cabin. Everyone follows behind her, but the moment they step inside, it's already too late. The train operator is dead. No one knows who killed him. The horrifying sight leaves everyone frozen in fear. The passengers turn to Lou, desperately asking, "What happened? How is this even possible?" Before she can answer, everything around her suddenly changes. In an instant, Lou is pulled into the spirit world. Waiting for her there is Father Novak. She's completely confused. If he wanted to talk, why bring her to this place? Father Novak finally reveals the truth. "You've always asked me what really happened to your father," he says. "Now it's time you know." He explains that Lou's father had been possessed by Asmodeus, the king of demons, a powerful evil force that wanted both Lou and her father dead. And now, that same demon has boarded this train. "If you want everyone to survive," Father Novak warns, "you'll have to stop it yourself." Lou isn't ready for something this terrifying, but before she can ask another question, Asmodeus appears right in front of her and brutally kills Father Novak before her eyes. Lou steps out from the world of spirits. Everyone immediately runs toward the father, but by now it's clear that everything has already fallen apart. Then Asmodeus appears right in front of them. He lets out a terrifying scream that echoes through the entire train, declaring that every soul on board belongs to him. He vows to kill them all and turn every single soul into his slave. Hearing his horrifying warning, panic spreads through the group. Everyone is frozen with fear, unsure of what to do next. Their last hope is Sister Lou. Vicky pleads with her, "Please save us. You're the only one who can." But Edwin, as always, interrupts. He says, "I grew up around priests and nuns. I know for a fact that nuns don't perform exorcisms." Vicky quickly shuts him down. Right now, Lou is the only hope we have. One by one, everyone begs Lou for help, and finally she agrees. She decides to fight, not only for the people on the train, but also for her father and for Father Novak. The first thing Lou does is give everyone a special drink. She had already blessed it with a prayer so that the demon wouldn't be able to take control of them. But Nasi refuses to drink it because she doesn't believe in any of this. There isn't enough time for Lou to argue with her. As if the demon wasn't enough, they're facing another deadly problem, the speeding train. Sophia reminds everyone that the train is racing out of control, and if it isn't stopped within the next 15 minutes, it will crash and everyone on board will die. Lou asks Sophia, "You know this train better than anyone. What should we do?" Sophia quickly comes up with a plan. She tells everyone to gather all the passengers into the last coach and then detach that coach from the rest of the train. It's a brilliant idea, but the real question is, will the demon allow them to do it? Lou explains that if they can figure out what object Asmodeus originally escaped from, they might be able to seal him back inside it. That's when Sophia remembers Gabriel and the mysterious statue. She tells Lou everything she knows, and instantly Lou forms a new plan. Sophia, Nasi, Vicky, and David will gather every passenger into the final coach and separate it from the train. Meanwhile, Luis has a different mission. He must steal the statue from Gabriel, because if they want to destroy the demon once and for all, the cursed statue has to be destroyed too. Edwin's job is perhaps the strangest of all. He has to keep provoking the demon, distracting it while everyone else carries out their tasks. And honestly, if there's one thing Edwin is good at, it's getting under someone's skin and throwing insults. Edwin finally agrees, and Lou decides to face the demon alone. She knows she has to stop it, no matter what, because Gabriel's life is also on the line. Everyone accepts the plan and splits up to handle their own part of the mission. But was it really going to be that easy? Not even close. The demon appears in front of Lou and tries to manipulate her. It whispers, "Do you remember your father? He refused to bow before me too. And you know exactly what happened to him. You still have a chance. Kneel before me, and I'll spare your life." But Lou refuses to give in and keeps fighting back. Meanwhile, Sophia and the others manage to move all the passengers into the last train car. Sophia, Vicky, David, and Nessie begin trying to detach that final carriage from the rest of the train. Suddenly, countless glowing fireflies surround them. But these weren't ordinary fireflies. You already know how this demon works. Everyone else had been protected because they drank the holy mixture earlier, but Nessie hadn't. That meant the demon could still control her, and that's exactly what it does. The demon takes over Nessie's mind, turning her against the others. She suddenly wants to kill everyone around her. One team is already trapped, while Edwin, working alone, continues provoking the demon. He shouts, "You think we're going to die? You're nothing but a fool. You can't stop us. We're going to destroy you and walk out of here alive." Edwin keeps taunting it until Ascendius finally loses his temper. A chilling message suddenly appears on the glass. "You will die alone." Then the demon attacks him. Edwin barely manages to escape. But for how long? Far away from all the chaos, Louis finally reaches the statue they've been searching for. But before he can take it, the demon tries one last trick. "What are you doing?" it whispers. "Look at this priceless statue. Steal it. You'll become incredibly rich." But Louis has already made his choice. He's standing with his friends. The moment the demon realizes that, it leaves Lou behind, rushes straight to Louis, and brutally kills him. The others run to his side, but they're too late. The demon has already done what it came for. Louis is dead. Everyone breaks down in tears, but there's no time to grieve. Lou immediately rushes to Nessie and manages to free her from the demon's control. Then she gives everyone one final order. "Get into the last train car. I'll keep the demon distracted and join you there." She also tells Nessie, "Take Sophia and get her safely back to her father." But Nessie quietly reveals a heartbreaking truth. Sophia's father died 3 years ago. I'm the only family she has left. At that moment, Lou sees a reflection of herself in Sophia. And now, more than ever, she knows she has only one choice. She has to save them all. Lou sends everyone away from the front of the train. But Edwin, who had finally changed and become a better man, refuses to let her face the danger alone. He tries to stop Lou, but she walks away anyway. Meanwhile, everyone else heads toward the last train car. Before leaving, Edwin tells the group that he's going back to help Lou. They agree and continue toward the rear, where they begin trying to disconnect the final carriage. Far away in the first car, Lou finally comes face to face with Gabriel. At first, the demon tries to manipulate her and lure her to its side. But when she refuses to give in, the two prepare for a deadly showdown where either one could die at any moment. Just before the demon can kill Lou, Edwin suddenly rushes in and knocks it to the ground. Gabriel's body is growing weaker with every passing second, and the demon desperately needs a new host. So it abandons Gabriel and takes control of Edwin instead. Gabriel survives, and Lou immediately tells him to run. She orders him to warn everyone to separate the train cars before it's too late. Gabriel escapes while Edwin, still fighting for control of his own mind, tells Lou to leave. "I don't know how much longer I can hold this thing back," he says. "I've committed terrible sins in my life. Even my own son hates me. I wanted to do at least one good thing before I died, and this is it." Edwin begs Lou to run, but it's already too late. The demon completely overpowers him and prepares to strike. At that exact moment, Gabriel returns with the others and tells them about Lou's plan. With no other choice, Vicky disconnects the train car. The rest of the survivors make it out alive. But now only Lou and the demon remain trapped together inside the isolated carriage. Little by little, the evil force starts gaining the upper hand, and Lou begins to believe she's about to die. Then something unbelievable happens. The spirit of Lou's father appears before her. He reveals that after battling the demon for so many years, he had absorbed some of its supernatural powers, and before he died, he passed those powers on to her. That's why the demon wanted me dead, he tells her, and now it wants you. But you're stronger than it is. End this once and for all. Hearing her father's words fills Lou with new courage. She fights back with everything she has, launches a final attack, and destroys the cursed statue that gives the demon its power. With the statue shattered, the demon is finally defeated for good. But by now, it's already too late. The train is racing out of control at full speed. Just then, Lou remembers something her father once told her, that she has powers hidden deep inside her. At that exact moment, Lou uses those mysterious abilities and suddenly vanishes from the train. Everyone else survives, and later they all gather to attend Edwin's funeral. No one can understand how Lou managed to stay alive, but she lies to everyone, claiming that she jumped off the train at the last second. She also tells Edwin's son what an incredible person Edwin truly was. But is the nightmare finally over? Not even close. Soon after, a group of government agents takes Lou to a church where one of Father Novak's old friends is waiting for her. He reveals that Father Novak had known all along that Lou possessed supernatural powers and had shared that secret with him before his death. Father Novak may be gone, but his friend now asks Lou to stand with them and help fight the forces of evil. Even the government wants her on their side. In the end, Lou accepts her destiny. She promises that she will never let the devil win again. And that's where the story comes to an end. But it definitely feels like there's room for a sequel. Gabriel's girlfriend is still alive, and the biggest question remains unanswered. Why did she do what she did? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section. Also subscribe to this channel for more.